Good evening, everybody, and welcome to That Nerdy Web Show. I'm your host,
Oh my god.
Dimmix.
What?
And what?
Did you forget the name of your own web show?
No, I'm just kidding.
Just
kidding.
And first off, we have Patrick.
Oh my god.
I feel so bad for him. He's up at like 2 in the morning over in the UK because we recorded this late.
That's
Opal.
Hello.
Phantom. And in my room with me, sleeping like a bitch, it's Rejected Wolf.
Who?
Ivan.
Oh, Ivan
Yeah.
has an actual username now. I did not know
Yeah.
that.
So, how is everybody today?
Wake him up for me. Tell him Opal said hi.
Okay. Hold on, I got a ruler in my hand.
Yes.
Ooh, beat him like a nun.
Oh, I hear that on his bum.
No, I will hit
Wait.
you whenever I want, when I want, how I want, and how hard.
Now you gotta get some bony nun fingers and poke him in the chest.
Hit him with a fish.
That's just weird.
No.
Yeah, anyway.
But like I said, how was everybody today?
I'm doing all right.
Okay.
Gassy, apparently.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
We can
apparently something crawled up Corey's ass and died. That's good. That's good.
tell. Oh.
Hopefully
I
it
don't
was
know, it
Hitler.
sounded like it was coming out the other direction.
Anyway,
Apparently, never mind. I was gonna make a Holocaust joke, but that is bad.
Let's not go there. We already lost enough members to bad
Yes.
jokes.
all
So-
two of them.
So, does anybody
I'm
have
sure we lost at least 5.
or 7?
Yes, let's just
Large
start off with
numbers.
random numbers. Anyway,
Once
24!
we get up to 10, then we're losing a lot.
I don't even know if we had 10 to begin with. Anyway,
Anyway,
carry on.
Well, first off, Patrick, didn't you have something
What up?
important to talk about?
Was that?
Didn't you have
Did-
something important to talk about?
Oh no, I was just ranting about like retro games and stuff.
No, you were talking about the new Doom.
Well, that's pretty much to do with it. Oh yeah, well basically the new Doom got announced. Oh, it's already been announced. Sorry, at QuakeCon I think they announced some details for it, and on IGN there's like a full list of stuff saying what's going to be in the game, like how it's going to be like classic Doom. It's going to be run and gun gameplay, no regenerating health. It's going to have tons of enemies on screen at once. Some of them like teleporting and stuff, and you're gonna have multiple weapons which you won't have to reload. So basically, it's like Serious Sam, Doom, Quake, and all those other really old FPS, which sounds nice on paper, but I feel like I don't know. Like I think that's not a recipe for success. It sounds like a fun game, sure, but I feel like I'd rather see the gameplay and see if the game itself is fun. Because the thing is, I've played games recently that had those mechanics. For example, BioShock Infinite, or what's his name? Painkiller, Hell and Damnation, which I only played the demo for. And putting Painkiller aside, since I only played the demo of that and I never played the original game, with BioShock Infinite, I mean, this is going to sound controversial, although some people agree. I feel like the gameplay was probably the weakest part of BioShock Infinite, even though I think the game itself is amazing. Because I feel like the classic gameplay, quote unquote, the retro gameplay, it's fun and all, but I feel like when it's not treated with care, when it's not given an edge, it just feels like retro for the sake of being retro. But that doesn't mean it's going to be good. It just means that you're copying and pasting something that worked and expecting it to work again. You know what I mean?
But
Like,
a
I
lot
don't
of
really think
times
that's
it does. They do that with movie sequels all the time.
Well, the thing
True.
I see about retro, like, I guess you could say retro rehashes, is that, yeah, it is kind of a, what was the word, unoriginal, you know, but I think that some games work better with, like, a retro mechanic rather than, you know, something new, like Call of Duty and stuff like that. You know, I personally didn't like Doom 3. I thought it was a big piece of shit, personally. Um, but I think that Doom as a series should retain that particular, you know, retro gameplay um, type mechanic, a lot like, you know, Quake and stuff. You know, because that's just
yeah, exactly. I don't think Doom should change. That's all I'm saying.
right. You know, and as long as they do it well, not just make it ridiculous just with new graphics, I think it would turn out well.
Yeah, exactly. Like I basically want them to just make, the most quintessential and fun Doom experience ever. I just feel like the way they're marketing it right now, it's like they're trying to be like the anti-modern shooter, and
So like
that's a recipe
pandering.
for disaster. Yeah, it's like you don't start off by saying no regenerating health. That's like you've already made your statement so clear that now you're just going to create this situation where the modern shooter people are probably not going to like you for that. The old fags are basically going to get on their ivory towers and say they're better than you. And the people in between who aren't sure whether to buy it don't really understand the significance of it. Let's put it this way: let's just say, like the modern teenager who never played Doom, hearing no regenerating health, that sounds to him like, okay, why does this matter? Why is this? You know what I mean? Like it's like saying to someone, oh, I'm trying to think of a different genre.
Oh, you
Like,
want to jump with
Essentially,
the ball
what
pit?
they're trying to do is they just create a giant flame war.
Yeah,
That, yeah,
I mean, like
that's pretty much
think
in a
of a
nutshell.
different genre. It's like saying, back in my day, you didn't have save points in RPGs or something. I don't know.
Back-
You know what I
back
mean?
Back in my day, you didn't have continues. You had to put in a fucking password.
No,
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Something like
Password,
that.
screw that. We had to put in quarters.
Yeah, what if like a new RPG came out and they said that like no save points, only passwords? It's like what?
I was gonna say.
Good lord.
I was gonna say, back in my day, we didn't have ball pits and bouncy houses at a con.
DashCon. Yeah.
Nice segue. Yeah, explain the ball pits thing.
Well, basically, the whole ball pit thing is a big joke around the whole horrible convention that was put together, also known as, well, DashCon.
Well, DashCon. Let's face it, they did not know what they were doing. They were gearing it towards Tumblr people, which is scary enough as it is.
They're worse than Slash Beat, but
Once you have Tumblr and people that don't know how to put a con together in the first place, you get a few nerds in a room with a whole bunch of inflatable ball pits.
No,
And
it's
it
just
did
one
not-
inflatable ball pit.
Wait, so the convention was just some like lazily slapped together thing with a ball pit?
No, not exactly. I mean, everybody knows it mostly because of the ball pit, because that was like the epitome of the fiasco. The
Right.
basic rundown is that they had scheduled guests and panels and, typical convention things, except, people that were supposed to be hosting the panels or the special guests that are supposed to be doing, I forget, someone was doing like a fan fiction reading, I think it was, ended up dropping out because, they didn't get their pay. You want someone to appear at your convention, you pay them. Done.
Generally.
Right, and I guess there was miscommunication regarding when they would be paid, and I guess they were supposed to be paid after, and typically you pay people up front, and they ended up not having enough money to pay after all this was said and done, so they had to take donations at the convention. I think it was to the tune of like $17,000. And
Yeah, it was.
And so, among the other attractions at the quote-unquote convention, they did have a bounce castle and a ball pit, which the ball pit was like a small inflatable raft full of cheap-ass balls. And from what I understand, somebody pissed in the ball pit, which is hilarious.
Whoa, what? Really? I didn't even hear that part.
Well, you know what? While I do admit that's really terrible design, and I've most certainly been to better conventions, I do not know how to run conventions, so I can't say anything.
You could probably run a better convention than they did, really.
I probably wouldn't.
No,
though
we
I've
don't
done,
have
like,
the money
like,
to
mini
run a
events.
convention like that. You need money if you really want to.
Yeah, especially if you want a really nice venue like they had. It was very nice, very pricey, and I think that was one of the biggest downfalls, being that first year and a bunch of Tumblr kids, which you guys know how I feel about Tumblr.
Yeah, I think we all.
I
I think we all
we're-
know how we all feel about Tumblr.
We're on the
And, I mean,
same
to
level
be
with
fair,
Tumblr.
you know what the problem with holding convention for Tumblr people is? The problem is that nobody's really defined what Tumblr people are and what they want. So holding
It was-
convention for them doesn't really make any sense because it's like,
it was based
wait,
around
why
the
are
geek
they
culture.
there?
It's too vague.
It's too vague. It's like, why are they there? What are they trying to enjoy? What's the point?
From what I had read, it was based around the geek culture of Tumblr. Doctor Who, Sherlock, they covered the bases.
I see. No, but I'm saying then why would that be, flagpoled on Tumblr of all things? That seems like a really weird.
I assume because
point.
that's where they did the most advertising, but that's just a guess. I don't really.
Wait, what do you mean
like-
flagpole?
Well, I just use that term. I literally pulled that term out of my magic hat. No, I just mean, like I say, why would you have Tumblr as the focal point for geek culture? That sounds really weird,
Wait, why do you have a magic hat and you're not even telling us about it until like now?
Yeah, why don't you pull money out of it?
You're missing the point.
What?
Why are we using metaphors?
Why are we
Oh.
talking like this?
Because I thought you guys were smart and understand my language.
You don't understand. We're not smart.
I don't speak the English.
Oh my God.
Anyway,
Yeah, anyway, no, in all seriousness, I think, yeah, a Tumblr convention, even just from saying it, sounds like a disaster, even if I didn't hear the
Well,
details.
Tumblr convention aside, it was a bad con.
yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
it was,
even
yeah.
for a convention, not only was it dumb, not only was it poorly organized, not only was it full of, ass clowns that I would probably want to nuke, without even
Wow.
thinking twice about it.
Well, I don't want to even say that. It was for a good message. It was also geared towards a couple of people with depression, I believe. I had read something along those lines.
Who fucking who?
That's harsh, man. That's harsh.
Hey, Phantom, that's not very sensitive.
Guess what?
You're
Guess
being
what is sensitive?
insensitive.
Lifetime. Go watch that shit. You want
What?
sensitivity? You go watch Lifetime.
But Phantom, you need to be sensitive to all the different cultures and people.
No. I'm tired of this bullshit. Everybody wants to talk about, oh, you shouldn't talk shit to people about this or that or whatever. And essentially, like shaming people who shame others. People are like, oh, you shouldn't fat shame people. Bitch, guess what? Fat shame people. Why? Because it gets them off their ass. It gets them to go on the treadmill, and they get less fat. Therefore,
it gets them to complain on Tumblr, and then they sit on the couch and type on their laptop.
Well, that's good too. I'll continue to shame fat people. I'm fat. I shame fat people all the time.
Yeah, you sort of have an
You know
excuse
what
for that.
Tumblr is, though. In essence, Tumblr is a bunch of people getting their business up in other people's business.
Yeah,
Yes,
pretty much.
That is exactly what it is.
But back to what I was saying. Everybody wants to. They all have this mentality. It seems this is all over nowadays, not just Tumblr,
Yeah,
but all over.
it's not just Tumblr anymore.
Is that everybody has this notion that everybody should be able to be who they are and not not ever catch flack for it, and everybody's supposed to get along. Fuck that.
They're the pussified generation.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
like, no, I don't care if it hurts your feelings. I'm gonna talk shit. Fuck you. And
I think it really depends. If they've been like blind since birth, and you're just going on and on about these blind jokes, then it's a little. You're crossing some sort of line. But if
that's
someone's
different.
just sitting down
That's not like
and
shaming
they
someone.
complain about being fat, and then they don't do anything about like exercising or doing what they need to do to not be fat,
Exactly.
then-
At that point,
then
you
they
deserve
deserve
it.
that shit.
And the thing is, what I find strange personally is that like social justice seems to act like we
Oh my God.
need all these completely overly sensitive social justice ideologies in order to make the world better. But the thing is, our generation, at least from my perspective, came from a generation where we had very diverse people in our schools, people who might have been mentally disabled or physically disabled, people of different sexualities and stuff. And people became comfortable with this, and that's why they joke about it. That's why they say stuff like fag, gay, retard, and bitch and all that. Not out of disrespect, but because we know these things exist and we accept them, right?
Yeah.
These people didn't come out as bigots. These people came out as normal members of society who have been through the struggle, who've probably been bullied, and they know what it's like. Yet these social justice people come along, people who haven't had a single bit of struggle in their entire lives, and they want to tell us what to do. It's like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. See, tell them, fuck you.
Yeah, what she said.
Oh, there's a
Touche.
fairy heavy. Anyway.
What? There's a what now?
There's a fairy heavy.
The heck's a fairy heavy?
You
I
know,
was-
heavy, dressed like a fairy. Like a tooth
Oh.
fairy type fairy. Not like a, other end of Bourbon Street fairy, but no, like an actual fairy.
Well, I wasn't really picturing the. It
Yeah,
wasn't
I
the fairy
wasn't
part
thinking
that
of
I
that kind of
wasn't
heavy.
getting. It was the heavy. I was like, wait,
Yeah, anyway.
but I get it now. I get it.
And I fuck social justice, alright?
Yeah, that's all that needs to be said
Welcome
about
to the
that.
world. So what's next on the agenda? What do we have up our sleeves?
People who bitch about sexuality. Anyway, go ahead.
Ooh.
Oh, here we go again. No.
No, go.
Tackling the sensitive topics and doesn't afraid of anything.
No, I don't afraid of anything.
Well, next up is the whole thing that's going on with Activision.
And,
Keep
and
going.
suing them over Noriega. Oh god, like that's so weird to me. I thought he was dead. I actually thought he was
Everybody thought he's dead, but he's about like 80 years old.
dead. Is he? Oh, fair enough. Okay,
But-
basically for our viewers, all
And for
0.5
my
of you,
sake, because I don't know this either.
all 0.5 of our viewers, you're not even the full human being. You're half a human being. Yeah, basically in Call of Duty Black Ops 2, there is a part in the past, I guess around the 1960s or 70s, where you basically one of the antagonists that's consorting with the main antagonist, Raul Menendez, is Manuel Noriega, who's like a known dictator, and obviously he's a major antagonist. He does some bad stuff, and I don't remember if you shoot him, but I think you do at some point. So basically, yeah, he's a bad guy in the game, and obviously Manuel Noriega is an actual person from real life, because obviously Call of Duty games usually feature actual historical figures. Turns out Manuel Noriega is still alive, which I did not know, and now is suing Activision about his depiction in the game. Surprised it took them this long. Black Ops 2 came out like the fall of 2012. It's currently 2014. What took them so long?
Well, I mean, with games, you really need incentive to get the guys to go, yeah, I want to kill this guy. With regular people, it's different. I mean, imagine if you had gamers sitting around going, I don't know, this guy has a really good point. I like his ideals, and I can see where he's coming from, but I'm sorry, I have to shoot you for the point of the plot. I just can't picture that happening.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But I think with the suing thing, this isn't the first time Activision, or at least the Call of Duty series, has been sued over something. Like PETA tried to sue them over like killing dogs, for example. There was that. Obviously, there's a whole no Russian controversy. I don't know what's going to happen with this one. I don't know if like that kind of political power. I mean, and let's be honest. What's going to happen? Are they gonna? They can't exactly change the game. It's already done.
Nope.
So what are they gonna do? Are they gonna have to pay him
Absolutely
money?
nothing.
I mean, that just sounds weird to me. It's like, oh, I don't like the way you depicted me in your fictional fiction.
Your
Like,
fictional
okay.
world of
Well, tough tits, you 80-year-old fuck.
I'm pretty sure they can't say that to him.
Well,
Pretty
guess
sure
what?
they can't say that to him.
Guess what? I would.
What?
Yeah.
So you mean if it was your game and you depicted a real life figure like that in the game, and they came to you like threatening legal action, you just say like, yeah, screw you, whatever.
I'm just
Yep,
curious.
tough tits. You're gonna die way
what-
before this case goes to court.
What kind of legal action is he able to take in this case? Does he own some sort of copyrights to his personality?
Actually, no. It would be more along the lines of slander, really.
Okay.
Because you're calling him a quote-unquote kidnapper, murderer, and enemy of the state. Plain and simple.
And would we be able to do the same thing if a game happens to have a character with our name in it?
I mean, I don't know.
No, I would say that.
Let me look what's going on with Rockstar and Lindsay Lohan. I did not see a Lindsay Lohan character in that fucking thing.
No, actually, that particular illustration was based on a model from Sports Illustrated. So Lindsay Lohan can go suck a copious amount of penises.
You know what? This has been happening a lot recently. Like, for example, how Ellen Page semi-sued Naughty Dog for her sort of likeness in The Last of Us as Ellie. who wasn't
Semi-sued.
actually Ellie at all. Ellie was based on someone else.
Did she drive an 18-wheeler into the court? Is that the semi-part of the suit?
No, what
Or
I mean is,
how do you semi-sue somebody?
no, I meant like she sort of like didn't sue them, but kind of got pissed off at them, like, oh, you used my likeness in The Last of Us, and they said, well, we thought about your likeness, but it's more like the Ellie's voice actor, not Ellen Page. I mean, admittedly, at first glance, Ellie from The Last of Us looks like Ellen Page, but it's not Ellen Page.
Okay.
So I mean, yeah, this seems to be happening a lot recently, where like actual real life people are getting mad over their depictions in games. I guess when it's indirect. Obviously, if they acted in the game, then fair enough, they wouldn't sue. But like, I can understand that, especially if you're like famous or at least a well-known figure, if you appeared in a game and like you didn't like how you appeared, you'd be like, oh, I'm gonna sue you, I guess.
If you have the money to do it, why not?
Yeah, as I said, in regard to Noriega and Black Ops 2, I don't see anything happening.
Yeah.
It's like, there's nothing he can do other than ask for money, and even then, what's going to happen?
Yeah. We'll just sort of give a nod. You've done a great service to your country. Have a good day.
Have a good day.
Send us your monies at thatnerdywebshow@yahoo.com.
Kickstarter.
First of all, why would an email receive money? Did you just hear what you just said?
That's the PayPal address.
Oh, yeah, you're right, PayPal.
There you go.
Yeah.
Speaking of Kickstarter...
You know what we should do? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, yeah.
There's a new one. I knew it wouldn't stop at the potato salad.
Oh, what is it now?
There is a new product coming out.
Oh, the
it's
coolest?
An advanced cooler called the Coolest.
Those things are badass.
The coolest?
The coolest.
You're kidding.
Beautiful.
Oh, I guess you haven't seen it then, have you?
I didn't really think about it until now, but it's a great thing to bring up. It's like a
it is quite
cooler completely redesigned with bottle openers, dividing space, a blender built in, it can play music. It just has all this
a USB
stuff
port to charge your iPhone, so you can use it past 2 p.m.
There you go.
And how would this not break the second you put water on it, which is likely to happen?
Well...
I haven't figured that out yet.
Well, I would assume that at the very least they would use, at least internally, like the music playing capabilities and shit would use, marine grade components that would at least stand a little bit of water. I'm pretty sure it's not rated to be submerged, but it's going to be
there's got to be some sort of waterproofing, yeah.
Sure, I mean, yeah, you're right. At least most electronics are waterproof to a certain degree nowadays.
And most of it would probably end up being a high durability plastic, like most coolers. All that.
Does that be high density polyethylene?
Yep.
Yes.
Right. So, can you send me a link to the page for this? If there's
I actually posted on the That Nerdy Web Show page a little bit ago, so I will bring that up.
Have a page.
Surprisingly enough, look us up on Facebook, That Nerdy Web Show.
Oh, also, so Corey, you want to tell people about what happened with your puppy or something, or?
I guess. I mean, not that anybody's really going to be listening here, but yeah. So I adopted a dog from a local shelter on July 5th, and my sister was out of town. She lives with me because my parents moved to Houston, and she wants to finish school here. So she hadn't been home. She'd been hanging out with my parents because they went on a cruise, and I didn't get to go because my boss wouldn't let me take the time off. And when she came home, I was delivering for Domino's, and this was on the, I think, 11th or 12th. And she said as soon as she walked in the door, he panicked, jumped off the couch, and broke his leg. I'm like, oh great, I've had this dog 6 days, and he's already broken his leg. And turns out it's a pretty bad break, because it's going to cost me $2,600 in or $2,800 in surgery to get it fixed. So needless to say, I'm between a rock and a hard place right now. And
the hard place or the rock?
Well, you're definitely not the rock because I can't smell what you're cooking. But,
hey.
but yeah, the GoFundMe fundraiser hasn't been very successful so far.
Yeah.
It's only raised
I
170
considered
dollars.
sending over money, and then I was like, I am broke.
Yeah, I mean that's understandable. You know, not everybody has to donate, but if everybody could at least share, the people who would be willing to,
Yeah.
they'd help me out. And of course, I do have a little bit of funding hanging around, and I'm working with a
Spread the
couple
word,
different
people.
organizations right now to try to at least get a little bit of help. Because $2,800, it's not something I have hanging around usually.
I feel like every
No.
time I lean forward to grab my water, my mattress squeaks.
Hey man, that's why you need that new coolest thing. Yeah.
I need the new coolest.
Now, if
I
only you
just
had
looked at it and like it looks ridiculous. It's like so much things just for one thing. It's like, at what point do we just need to stop adding stuff? I mean, realistically speaking, we could just like add a grill on there, add an oven on there.
It, oh.
Just
It almost
keep
reminds
adding.
me of those Billy Mays commercials, where he just keeps adding stuff for the sake of giving you things. We'll
Just
give
let's just
you a
make a mobile
second one
kitchen.
for free. Yeah, thank you.
Just make a mobile kitchen, like a mobile kitchen that's like the size of a table, and you just like
That would be
fold it.
pretty cool. You adventurers out there, get on that. I want to see this become a thing. As long as
I mean,
you
okay,
don't just hand me an easy bake oven and say, there you go.
yeah, on the topic, do you guys think there'll ever be a time, maybe in the near future or far future, where we'll be able to like have stuff like I guess sort of like Dragon Ball Z capsules where we can miniaturize whatever we want and then just like pop it open and it like expands into like
as long as
something
it makes
huge?
that awesome hollow pop sound when it
This is,
opens.
yeah, this is pretty much saying, hey, do you guys want a video game inventory system? Any one of them, I don't care which.
As long as it's
That-
not
As
like a
long as
Silodex, we're okay.
as long as I can carry like a stack of 64 gold blocks or something, you know.
As long as I can bring my entire bedroom, I'm cool.
I think that's overkill. I just mean like take stuff
Dude,
that
you
you would
can
make.
fucking bring a 2-story house.
This is well, as long as you consider a 2-story house an item.
It is an object.
I
That
mean,
is
that's
very
like
true.
someone lifting up a tree at the side of the world in order to escape the game.
I don't
It-
see a
it
problem
Speaking
with
of
that.
technology. Speaking of technology and stuff that might be possible, you guys ever want to have like humanoid androids, like like maids and servants and stuff? Do you actually think that's something we actually want, or do you think like
Some like
sci-fi
chocolates?
movies have warned us? Yeah, like sci-fi movies have warned us of the impending doom.
Doom!
I'm afraid of it ending up something like an what was that monstrosity? Was it Curb? I believe it was called.
Wait, what?
With the
Her.
intelligent OS system, the little
Yeah.
romance thing. Yeah.
Well, I don't mean to disturb you, but do you know? I'm not sure. Okay, I'm sure you guys probably won't actually know what this was, but a computer recently passed the Turing test, and it actually
Really?
managed to. Well, yeah, it actually managed to convince uh, researchers that it was a human being.
Interesting.
Yikes.
Kill it with fire.
Mm.
Yeah, basically, the Turing test is. I'm going to look it up on Wikipedia real quick because I've done it before. I've looked it up before. Yeah, it's a test of machines' ability to exhibit intelligent behavior equivalent to or indistinguishable from that of a human being. Right? It's a complex test that basically only human beings can do because a machine can't figure out like the formula. And if a machine does it, you can tell it's a machine. But for the first time, a machine was managed to emulate a human being's thought process and convinced people it was a
Wow.
machine. So basically, like they were given like a situation where researchers had to basically determine whether or not the thing doing it was either a machine or a human being. They thought it was a human being, but it was actually a machine. And
That's
I don't
pretty
know, that kind of
wild,
creeped me
man.
out a bit. That's like, oh my god. Like
I'm
you
not sure
always
whether to
think
be fascinated or afraid. That's wow.
because what if you were talking to someone online and like you had like an hour-long conversation where you really bonded with them and then next thing you know you find out it was a machine? Wouldn't that just freak you out?
A little bit.
That
No,
would
not
actually freak
really.
me out.
What if Patrick was an android?
I've
That's
considered
not
this
what I'm saying.
possibility.
Probably.
I'm saying that's not what I meant. I just meant like imagine you just had a legitimate conversation with someone, but it was just a computer.
Well, how do we know you're not a computer?
Yeah, you're the only one who hasn't been around the rest of the group.
Yeah.
You guys, come on.
And he
I
is
have a Facebook
black.
and everything.
He
I
lives
have a
over in
face-
the UK, and he's not tired at 2:48.
No, I have Facebook.
Hmm.
I have Facebook. I have pictures. I have a
Yeah,
family.
I'm
I'm a
sure
real
Roa
person.
could put that up.
I'm a real
Likely
person.
story, Android boy.
Yeah, well, at least
No.
now we can get off of the black jokes.
Oh God.
Wait. Who said Andrew? Who said Android boy? Because I'm about to say, is he really Astro Boy?
Ah,
No, but yeah. Well, that aside, what was the other topic we're gonna talk about besides
Weird Al
Androids take?
Yankovic has released a
Oh
new
yeah,
album.
Weird Al.
Yeah,
I thought he was dead too.
I didn't think he
Actually,
was
no.
dead, right? But I didn't realize that he was still making music.
Yeah,
Like,
me
I
neither.
hadn't heard about him in so long, and
Well,
then it's like, oh,
Well, yeah, he's still making music. I mean, have you never heard of Cheese Sandwich?
No.
okay, this is true. Yeah, on My Little Pony, he did make an appearance in one of the season 4 episodes.
Did he?
Yeah,
Oh,
and he
season
sung a
4.
song.
It wasn't just like a
Thank you.
cameo. He was actually a main character.
It was pretty great.
Yeah, I'm
I
yet
got
to watch season 4.
But now he is making another album, and some people believe it is his last full album. I've heard rumors about that. He has mentioned something to the likes before, although I don't believe it's physically confirmed. But
But
he'll
isn't he
be
doing that YouTube series where he's doing parodies of different songs, and he does one. He releases a video each day. Because that's
he
what I heard
is
about.
going around to different YouTube people who have been inspired by his work, and he's releasing the album through that.
Yeah,
One song each day of the week.
Didn't
And there
he
are 8
do
total.
a cameo on Epic
He
Rap
was on The
Battles?
Nerdist, he was on College Humor, he was on a few other things. I can't
Epic Rap
remember.
Battles of History, I think.
Oh, he's been on there
He was on
many a
Epic Rap
time.
Battles.
Yeah, he's been on there I think 3 or 4 times. Actually, the
Wow.
most recent one, what was that? Newton versus.
Oh yeah, Isaac Newton versus Bill Nye. That was.
Yeah, he was. I think he was in that
I
one.
wonder why that. Yeah, I had no idea that was the reason why that kept coming up in the Weird Al views. Like every time I listened to a Weird Al music video, I was like, watch this. I had no idea.
I mean, that's pretty cool. I am a fan of Weird Al. It's just for the longest time I thought he'd, well, obviously not dead, but I thought he'd just stop making music. But the fact that he is pretty cool.
Yeah,
Just petered off.
he hadn't been doing anything for a long time, really.
I mean, to
From
be fair,
some
that
guy-
happens to a lot of people like him, like a lot of comedy acts. They kind of just disappear off the face of the earth until they start doing something years later.
This is true, yeah. Especially with the parody franchise. Just anyone can do it now with YouTube. You
That
can get
is
up the
very
day
true.
after. Which makes it difficult for other people who actually go out and have a production company. That lengthens the amount of time that it takes for them to make an album. They don't have the instantaneous response that we could get from more
usually
amateur
with
videos.
trying to drop an entire album, you're kind of missing the punch, because production time and all that stuff. It's no
I
longer
noticed
relevant
some of
by the
the
time you parody
songs
it.
that he's covering right now had been a thing years ago, maybe 1 to 2 years ago. Like I believe he's doing a polka version of "Get Lucky" is one of them.
Yeah, well, that song was iconic last year. That was the song of summer last year.
Oh yes.
So I mean, it's still it's not really relevant anymore. But what was that? The last Iggy Azalea song, "Fancy." He did a parody of that, which I don't even want to get on the subject of Iggy Azalea and why she's fucking terrible. But
well, I mean, okay, it's a matter of opinion, but my opinion is that she sucks.
she's
I don't
absolutely
think I
terrible.
know much about her, so I can't say anything.
Okay, long story short, imagine this. White girl from Australia sounds like Nicki Minaj and looks terrible and can't rap very well.
I see.
Yeah.
That sounds weird.
Yeah.
It's weird that I've never heard of her until now.
Oh, well, consider yourself lucky because they play one of her songs about every 10 minutes on the local radio station. And it sucks balls because I don't have much of a choice, being that my company vehicle doesn't have.
You live in Baton Rouge, right?
No, I live in Slidell, but
never mind.
I work in Hammond. So.
Oh my
Wait,
god! I
you
completely
work in
forgot.
Hammond, and you haven't come seen me during college season.
Guys, there's
You go to
a super
SLU?
important topic. There's a super important topic that I completely forgot that's recent that we actually can talk about, and it's something we all know about.
What?
Well, since there's no brakes on the controversy train, let's just do it, because why not?
Let's go.
Basically,
Oh, speaking of that, I rode on my first train last week, so yay.
Yeah.
basically, one sentence. Captain America is black, and Thor is a woman.
What?
What?
I've heard the Thor is a woman part, and I am holding off all judgments until I hear how the story goes. As long as they do it well, I could care less.
So apparently Patrick wants to cosplay as Captain America now. Awesome.
Wow.
What?
Wow.
Anyway, so what's I don't know the backstory behind this.
Basically, Captain America is no longer going to be Steve Rogers. It's going to be Sam Wilson, aka the Falcon.
The Falcon.
So
he was my favorite superhero for a long time. I'm glad they're putting him in there.
Yeah, so now he's going to be Captain America, which is I think that's it. I think that's interesting.
I just wish they could have put him in as the Falcon instead of as Captain America.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why he has to be Captain America.
I liked the Falcon. That was a great character.
Why am I thinking of Blue Falcon for some fucking reason?
I don't know.
Thor, I think, but basically, Sam Wilson becoming Cap is fine with me, but like Thor becoming a woman is weird because the way they explained it is really convoluted. They said that the original Thor is still there, but he's unworthy. Now this new woman come along, this mystery woman, she becomes Thor, and apparently she's not Thor. She's not an alternate version of Thor.
It's still Thor.
She takes his name. Somehow.
He takes his name and his hammer, and it's like,
dicks.
I guess the title Thor is related to the god or goddess of thunder. If Thor is no longer able to wield the hammer, which conducts the electricity for the thunder, would he really be considered a god anymore?
No.
But I mean, it's still confusing. Like, that's such a weird message to send. It's basically saying she's not taking... Okay, no, she is taking over, but the original Thor still exists. He's just not worthy of being Thor anymore. And to me, that just sounds weird, because it's like, but Thor is an actual character from Norse mythology.
He's not a superhero. He's an actual entity.
He's an actual
mythology.
God, yeah. So to say that, he's not Thor anymore, she's Thor now. It's like, okay.
Why not simply change Thor?
It just sounds weird.
Well,
like,
they did, and I'm going to use an example that a whole bunch of people used before. Thor in Norse mythology is characterized by red hair and beard, so they already changed him a bit.
Oh no, of course, that's true. But I'm saying that, like, I just think that changing pre-established characters is weird, because the thing is, there can be multiple Spider-Mans, right? Because the thing about Spider-Man is like, he's an icon, he's an image, right?
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's the man behind the mask, so to speak.
Yeah. But I feel like with someone like Thor, just changing him randomly is weird, man. Like, it's like, my problem isn't with, because it's a woman or whatever. Like, my problem is like, well, why did we need to just change Thor anyway? It's just the most random thing I ever heard.
Yeah, that does sound pretty stupid now that I think about it.
To get a whole bunch of views, let's face it, it's all about the views.
I guess. I mean, like, the story can be... I just random.
There's a whole bunch of female superhero things going on with Wonder Woman, and the Powerpuff Girls are getting a new series. So
No.
What?
Dude, didn't you see what they fucking did with the last, so-called movie or premiere or episode or whatever the fuck they called it? That was horrible.
Of what?
The Powerpuff Girls.
Oh, how they redid all the animation style and pretty much everything?
Yes.
Yeah.
The Teen Titans Go of Powerpuff Girls.
We won't mention that, but
Hey,
yeah.
Wait, I
okay,
don't
look.
think I.
Okay, Teen Titans Go is a hmm.
I don't really.
But
I don't have a
It'll
problem with that show because I
You
know
don't need
that
to
show isn't
explain
meant.
it.
That show isn't really meant for me though. It's just supposed to be like a lighthearted comedy show based on Teen Titans.
Exactly. See, everybody's like, "Oh, I want the original Teen Titans." The original Teen Titans is dead. You're not getting it back.
Yeah, it's like it's already been done.
Yeah, and everybody's pissed off. They're like, "Oh, they changed the art style. Oh, it's not about it's not about the story anymore. It's like a sitcom." Which,
Well, like a ha
which
ha
if,
ha, Starfire's retarded or something.
yeah, which if you're looking at it from a viewpoint of a Teen Titans show, yeah, it's terrible. But as for, I mean, if you're comparing it to the old Teen Titans, it's pretty terrible. But if you look at it on the whole, it's a good show. I mean, the animation style is leaving a little bit to be desired, but overall, the show is enjoyable.
In fact, do you know what I actually think about this? While I don't care about the show and I don't really support it, in my opinion, I can understand why they did this because I'm sure everyone's noticed this. See, now whereas comic books have always been about different audiences, it's not necessarily always been about marketing to kids. I feel like the recent surge of comic book fandom and mainstream and like comic book superhero movies, it's really kind of made comics very, especially comic book superheroes, very dark and edgy and serious and kind of adult. And I feel like that image is starting to creep its way into like the kid demographic. And I feel like something like Teen Titans Go is a way of, reeling it in and bringing it back to where kids can enjoy it. Because like literally, if you have all of these like high stakes movies and action packed stuff, like something like Captain America the Winter Soldier, a kid can go see that, but that movie is hella violent, kind of dark in some places too. So I can
this is true.
understand why they want to have something like Teen Titans Go, because like you have to admit, even though comic books aren't necessarily for kids, there fewer and fewer comic book things are really aimed at kids nowadays. You have to admit. So I can understand why they do this. Because I can't even remember the last time I actually saw something comic book related that was actually kid friendly in like the literal sense. Like everything's so dark and edgy now. You know what I mean? Like Chris Nolan's Batman, so like hella dark.
Ooh.
Even Man of Steel was like just explosions and violence.
Well, we could always just wait for Ben Affleck.
Oh, you mean Batman versus Superman?
Yep.
I think Ben Affleck might be a
don't
worse
know how
Batman than.
dark and edgy. Well, I'm not.
I
just can't picture
I
him
just wanna
being
see.
dark and edgy. Let's look at his Superman titles.
I mean,
Those weren't very dark.
he might
or
be
edgy.
he has the he could possibly be the worst Batman since George Clooney.
The thing is, I'm fine with everyone except for Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. Basically, Ben Affleck as Batman could definitely work. I think that's fine. Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor is perfect. Obviously, a Man of Steel is Henry Cavill as the Superman. Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman? You what? There are hundreds of hotter, better built actors than her that would better fill the role of Wonder
Actors?
Woman, who's supposed to be
Actors?
actress.
Did you
sorry.
say actors?
Well, since
Yeah,
we're on the
actresses,
subject of Rule
sorry.
63, superheroes.
Might as well.
No, the guys. No, actresses. But yeah, like I just feel like Wonder Woman. She's supposed to be, an Amazoness. She's supposed to be tall and built, busty and stuff. And Gal Gadot is none of these things. And it's like, why would you cast this woman for this character?
I don't know who
who's
that
supposed to
is,
be, like,
but as long as she's not a 5'2" Asian woman, she might be okay.
she's the super skinny chick from Fast and Furious.
Oh, that chick.
She's not even one of the hot ones, and Fast and Furious had some hot chicks, and she's
Oh,
one
yes.
of them, and that bothers me.
Yes, they
That
did.
actually bothers me so much.
So,
Like they picked the skinniest, like non-curvy chick out of all of them to play as like Wonder Woman of all people. Wonder Woman, I mean, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
really.
so, you guys want to change the subject real quick?
Change it
Yeah,
to
sure.
what?
Next topic.
Next topic. Well, since we only got like,
Yeah, we only have like 10 minutes. We actually did very well on time.
Well, yeah, that's what I meant. We got about like 10 or so minutes. So I just wanted to talk about my experience at SGC real quick. It was fun.
Gay.
No, it was fun.
I am glad you enjoyed that, and
I
you
mean-
got some very nice
Yes, I got some of the guests well, not some of the guests, but it's like some of the special guests to actually give us a shout out.
Like, are we going to be hosting that at the beginning of this episode? Are we going
No.
to be doing
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, we can.
sort of order it from in order from best well worded to
To like that.
the drunk one.
Yeah.
Oh, good lord!
Say,
No one could say it right. No one could say it right.
no, Pro Jared said it right, which is
Pro Jared was
They were right.
Yeah.
no, but let's see. It was fun. The convention was amazing, except for the fact of the fire alarms. Dear sweet
heard about
Jesus, the fire alarm kept going on and off, on and off. It was crazy. Even during the Brentalfloss concert, which in my opinion was funny as hell, because afterwards, after we came back inside from the fire alarm, he said a poem to the guy who pulled the fire alarm, and he's like, "To the man who pulled the fire alarm, you can eat a dick."
Yeah.
And there's actually a story going around saying, "Oh, Craig from Screw Attack was the one who pulled the fire alarm because he's like." He even said it at his panel because he said, "I woke up this morning and I thought to myself, man, my panel is gonna suck, so I hurried up and pulled the fire alarm. That way I could try and freaking bail."
Nah.
But it failed.
It don't work like that, bud.
Yeah, but anywho, let's see. Brentalfloss was amazing. Kinji Inafune was super, super friendly. He signed my copy of Mega Man X, which I think is really awesome. Even though I had to buy another copy of Mega Man X at the con, because I forgot mine in a rush.
Wow.
Wow.
It was my mistake. But I was lucky to find another copy of it. Let's see. DJ Cutman and Grimecraft was super friendly. They were
You
really
got a
awesome.
shout out from all them too, yeah.
Yeah, Pro Jared, like I said, was really. Apparently, he's really nice. I thought he would be like a dick, but he's like really super friendly. And it was kind of weird watching Pro Jared's dad actually help with the convention.
Really?
Yes,
That's
it was
cool.
It was crazy because he's like, I didn't know he was Pro Jared's dad until Pro Jared went up to him and be like, "Hey, Dad, this, that, and another," and I'm sitting here like, "Holy shit, that's actually his dad!" And I'm
Imagine if we got our parents to help out with stuff like
Oh,
that. Oh
God.
boy, they get to sit in with one of our web shows.
My-
They
That's
would
never
love that.
gonna
right?
happen in a million years.
my parents would be so disappointed while sitting in and listening to me make dick jokes.
My
Uh,
parents
making
would
dick
never
jokes? I'm making
support
dick
anything
jokes,
I
you
do
dick.
ever.
But let's see. The Angry Joe was awesome. I actually Brental Floss, like I said, concert was amazing. He's really friendly. Oh, and I couldn't meet anybody else because I was on.
You met JonTron, I thought.
Yes, I've met JonTron, and it was super awkward because I was dressed as.
He looks like he was freaked out by you. I'm not gonna
Yes,
lie.
because I
You were
was
dressed as what?
Zachary from Off, and he looked like I was about to kill him, and it was crazy. But let's see.
I'm not gonna lie. You really did look creepy as hell.
I know I look like fucking Marilyn Manson, but hey, me and Fuck Out 101 look fucking badass together. Yeah, he
Hey,
was
you look
I
like
guess
Marilyn
it-
Manson if you had caterpillars on your face.
There you go.
Now, I guess the awkward thing with always meeting like famous people is that feeling of like that awkward feeling of, oh, you're just another fan, and then you just kind of look weird and creepy talking to them. You know what I mean? It's like they deal with so many fans every day, and like you're just another person trying to get all friendly with them.
Yep.
Yeah.
But let's see. I also entered a Smash Brothers tournament while I was there. It's called
How'd you
Smash
do?
Brothers Impossible. It's
Got
like
your ass kicked.
in the third round, I did ended up getting my ass kicked because let's see.
Wait,
First,
why is it called impossible?
well, you get all three Smash Brothers: 64, Melee, and Brawl. Well,
Right?
they also had some stuff they set some rules saying, oh, you can't you can only use this character and you can only use this attack
What?
on this level.
What? That's
And
so
You
boring.
can only use Fox and Melee, yes.
No,
Stuff like that.
basically the reason why I died, I lost I lost the tournament was the fact that okay, my mine was super easy even though it was kind of stupid because I'm a fat guy. I can't walk or jump for a long amount of time without fucking losing my breath. So we can use any character we want. Stage random. 5 minutes. Three stock. No items on. Well, I used Link,
Okay.
and then I used Kirby. I mean not Kirby. Wario because it was 2 out of 3, and I lost because every time our character jumped, we had to jump.
Oh.
Huh?
And
Wait,
it was
what?
great. And I was
That's-
going against Wolf twice, and I failed miserably.
Okay.
The conditions of this tournament sound ridiculous.
It was
It-
supposed to be ridiculous. It was crazy, but it was so much fun. And then I got
Especially with Link, who is known for his aerial attacks. That in range is what you're going for. You probably should have stuck with more of a ground character.
I mean, I had fun. My girlfriend had fun. It's kind of funny because finally got my girlfriend into like more video games, and I got her into. And this is just out of the blue. I got her into a game called Juke Beat.
Juke Beat. I have never heard of
Juke
this.
Beat.
What's
Yeah, me
that?
neither.
It's kind of like, well, you can only get it for like your iPhone or your iPad or your whatever.
iDevice.
Okay.
Well, it's basically like DDR, sorta. It's made by Bandai, and you basically have like these, like you touch the screen, and you try and get them in a rhythm, and you have to keep up the beat and keep like don't miss one, and you gotta keep pressing it or like you slide your finger if they're like in a line.
This
I
sounds
recommend.
really boring.
It's really hard and really difficult, but it was kind of
Right.
funny because the first song I played, well, the first 2 songs I played whenever we found we played on the iPad they had over there. One of them was the classic song everybody knows from DDR, which is Sandstorm.
Of course, yes.
Oh my
Eh,
god.
And then the second one was, of course, the Gurren Lagann opening,
It's a nice
Opening.
choice.
which was pretty cool. I mean, I
As
like
in Sora Iro No Days or whatever the crap it's called?
Yep.
the first opening.
Yeah, that's what it's called, yeah.
Yeah. It was fun. It was amazing. I liked it. I'll want to go back again next year because it was fun. The guests
haven't
are
been to
so
convention
not.
in
The
a
guests
month.
are so nice. The arcade games was so much fun. Even though they were free to play, it was pretty cool. I spent over like $300 over there.
But you spent over what?
Merchandising.
No, I bought like so many freaking NES games, and then I bought like some posters, and I bought my girlfriend some steampunk stuff.
You
And
spent
then,
all your shekels.
actually, no, I
Your
still had some money left in the bank, but which is that's cool. But hey, I got to go to my first game exchange, which was not that bad. I mean, I picked up like 5 games, which was and Patrick, you're gonna love this.
Oh.
Pac-Man World 2, Pac-Man World 3, Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, King of Fighters, I think in 94, no, 99, and
99.
Gauntlet Legends,
That's cool. Tons of classic games, basically.
basically. And then like when I went to SGC, I bought like so much shit. I bought, hold on, I bought like Bomberman, Bubble Bobble, Contra, Double Dragon, Excitebike, Final Fantasy, the first Final Fantasy, I think. Kid Icarus.
It's funny how we've come full circle with this talk about retro games. I'll tell you what, though. While I do still enjoy playing retro games every now and then, I don't really enjoy playing them on my own anymore. That's the only thing. Like, if I was going to play a game like that, like I probably wouldn't play on my own.
Oh, well,
Why you say that?
I'm probably blabbing too much.
No, I don't know. I feel like when I want to go blast blast in the past like that, I'd want to play it with someone and just sort of reminisce about stuff. Like I don't gain anything from playing old games like that by myself.
We'll come
Let's
over.
go
We'll
grab
play.
a few beers.
We'll come over. We'll play King of Fighters '99.
Yeah.
That game is old as dirt. Jesus Christ.
I know it was kind of, and I got it for like $6, which is funny. And the game is not scratched. It's got the case and the manual.
1999 is 15 years ago.
Oh my god, dude, you're right.
No shit, it was 15 years ago. I was
Well, I mean,
like,
it just doesn't feel that
4.
long. It does not
doesn't.
feel like that was 15
Doesn't
That's
feel
what
that
years
she
long.
ago.
said.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
just
I
like-
actually. Wow.
We are now
I
measuring
actually don't
dick
know.
sizes in years, people.
Oh,
I don't know. Actually, I don't know what to say to that.
What? That's what she said?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I think that's where we can end this podcast. We can end this on that.
yeah, we can end it right here. Thank you everybody for taking your sweet precious time doing things and listening to Corey fapping in the background.
No, that's my dog shaking, and that's his stupid splint hitting the ground.
Oh, I
Ooh.
thought you were fapping in the background. I'm sorry. I thought it was that time of the night for you.
No, that's my tripod shaking.
All right, have fun, like, comment, subscribe.
Yeah,
Remember to
like-
tell us what you thought in the comments. If you have anything to add, we would be more than willing to look and see what you're saying.
Yeah, and
Because,
also,
we have nothing better to do.
also, if you get really bored at night, go check out Justice Soul Tuna's YouTube. If you get like ultra bored and you're looking for like a challenge.
What is that supposed to mean? Are you trying to say watching my videos is hard? Is that what you're trying to say?
We're trying to say that
no.
your dialogue is like an android.
No, we're just saying that you fight amazingly.
Fair enough, but still.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's not
I
what
guess
sounds
watch
like
my
watching.
channel.
Yeah, shameless plug,
Just,
Might as well.
Shameless plug.
also if you're in Slidell, order pizza
And bring it to Josh's house. Why not?
and bring it to the UK. It would make no
Oh.
sense.
I'm pretty
Alrighty.
sure it's going to be expired by that time.
All right,
Well.
well, good night, everybody.
See you guys.
Yay! Does this
Good.
mean I can go poop now?